Hello out there, and welcome to another official ProjectCoe.com video review. This is yours truly, staff writer Justin Joseph, and today I'll be telling you about the multi-platform Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC title, The Club. Right off the bat, the game's title leads you to believe that there's a huge organization that's doing something attractive for gamers. However, only half of that ends up true. Oh yes, there is a shady underground syndicate carrying out illegal practices, but they don't operate in the way that you would expect. You see, the club is all about putting on a bloody show for onlooking investors and clients. There's nothing exactly wrong with that. The problem lies in how paper-thin the concept is executed. There are several playable characters involved in this club for one reason or another. They each have brief backstories as to why, but that's pretty much where it ends. The club is an arcade shooter at heart, which is fine, but I was expecting some sort of twisted, morbid, twisted metal-like conspiracy plot to make it all insanely interesting. Unfortunately, that isn't remotely the case, which really makes you care little, if at all, about these people. This begs you to wonder what the point of it all is. Well, at that rate, it's only about going for that high score and nothing else. To that extent, this game does pretty good, but don't say I didn't warn you. Now I'll let you know how it all works. The club features Tournament, the main mode, single event, and online multiplayer. With Tournament, you select a character based on his strength, stamina, and speed, and then enter an arena that hosts a series of events. The game claims to have 5, but there really are only 3. In one, you trek from the starting line to finish, killing all who stand in your way. In another, you run 3 laps around an arena, killing enemies and racing for a plausible time. And finally, you may be required to survive for a set time, kill anyone who wants you dead, all the while staying within the designated zone so you don't risk being internally exploded thanks to nanomachines injected into your body. To elaborate on how it feels to play, it's pretty enjoyable, but after a few hours you discover that you're pretty much doing the same thing over and over, hence where the high score concept comes in. At the end of each event, you receive a score based on your performance. How many kills you score, how you land those kills, and how fast you do it determines what your overall total is. The main idea is to string a combo together, which starts upon your first kill. When this happens, a meter in the upper right starts flashing away, and you have to keep handing out deaths, or find hidden skull and secret skull shots in order to maintain it. If you do, the multiplier you currently have will help your overall score immensely so you can enjoy a nice seat on the leaderboard. However, this requires heavy memorization of not only the skull locations, but where the enemies are at all times. To me, only the hardcore of the hardcore will want to do that. The characters, while unique, offer nothing in the realm of interesting plot, and it sucks. It's a shame too, because they're all modeled fairly well and animate nicely. But even then, they all control pretty similarly across the board, and even though they have varying stats, it's really only a reality on paper. The arenas also look plausible and distinct, but the detail isn't exactly heavy, and the generic pawns that you kill don't help things either. Audio-wise, this one's mostly a downer. The music doesn't really fit the atmosphere, except for perhaps the menu theme, as it all sounds like it belongs in a comic book universe or something. The guns don't sound too bad, but most of them lack punch, which makes you happy when hearing explosions, which definitely help out the action's excitement factor. With voice, you're really only hearing the announcer say your character's name at the start of an event, all the while emphasizing your notable kills, whether they be headshots or purely stylish. He sounds pretty goofy, but I didn't really mind him either. Thus brings me to multiplayer, which isn't all that enthralling either. There is free-for-all and team deathmatch, but the way the club was designed doesn't exactly make the online offerings too attractive. It's especially brow-raising when you can unload 10 rounds from a pistol into someone and they laugh at you, and then return with a couple bursts of assault rifle fire and walk away with a +1 to their kill total. It's not bad exactly, but not oh my god fun either. Despite what the publishers may say about this title, it really should have been a third-person shooter interpretation of the Twisted Metal series. Instead, what we have is an uninspiring, atypical arcade shooter that can be fun for a little bit, but it doesn't do much to change things up once you start. If you're really after that high score, by all means pick this one up, but in the grand scheme, there are plenty better choices out there. The club walks home with a 6.9 on 10 from Project CUE. Thanks for tuning in to our latest video review. I will have new ones in the near future for Bully's Scholarship Edition on Nintendo Wii and Insecticide on the Nintendo DS. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this one and look forward to more content from my other associates.